Welcome to Yeshiva Dashir, sponsor Nishva Sar B'Yakov Sholom and Leah Basitzchok. We're holding in Basra Daf Mches. The Gemara, we got to the fourth line at the top of Amud Aleph. Zok the Gemara. Rabbeinu have become Mitzayin Me'arto. Rabbeinu was going to be Mitzayin the Me'ara, which means he was making signs where a cave is. You know, you have to make sure to get away from Tumah. So they made sure that he was Mitzayin the Me'aras. Kimato Me'arto d'Avram, when he came to the Me'ara of Avram Avinu, then the following story happened. What happened? Ashkechei Eliezer v'Avram the Kai coming Bava. He sees Eliezer v'Avram standing in front of the door. He's servicing Avram. What is Avram doing? He is laying down in the lap of Sarimenu. She's checking his hair. Go tell him the Beno is outside and he wants to measure to check where the Me'ara is. He can come in. There's no Yitzhara in this world, and in the world to come, there's Yitzhara, there's no problem. So, there's a few Nekudas over here to point out. First of all, we speak about the Shor Machshava of this daf, was already recorded. What is Avram Avinu? First of all, which Me'ara was Avram Avinu? Me'ara Machpelah. There is a discussion among the Rishonim. It's Machlekes really Taisus and the Ramban. Taisus in Bometzia and the Ramban in Chumash, in Parshas Chukas. Do tzaddikim cause tumah or not? Taisus says they do. The Ramban says they don't. The Chura, many of them first bring it, that this is a raya that do cause tumah. Because why is the Beno going and measuring the Me'ara? It's a Avram Avinu. You see the cause tumah. The Yavetz of Bometzia says no, he didn't do it in order to do tumah. The reason he was measuring it is in order for people to know where it is so they could come daven on Kivrei Avos. So, but this is one interesting discussion. The other interesting discussion is what? What did Sarah mean? What is going on over here? No, they wanted to go in. He says, I can't go in because Sarah is cleaning the hair or looking at the hair of Avram. They didn't do anything else. They just did something which is showing level of intimacy, of closeness, right? So he said you can come in only because in this world, when you come to this world, there's no Yitzhara. But in the regular world, you can't. So from here, the place can bring a raya that a husband and wife should not show affection in public. Because you see that Lulei, that is Avram Avinu is dead, then with Sarimenu, when they're going to that world, you're not supposed to see that. They didn't do anything which is asur, they didn't do any. He should look at his ear. It shows affection, it shows closeness. That a man cannot go and see. Finally, it was brought down in the first, but another points it out over here. This is not talking literally. Sarah is not looking at the hair of Avram, the world to come, and the Eliezer standing. It's an idea, it's a concept that Rabbeinu understood through a seichel. You have to understand what it means. Says the Gemara, Ayin V'nofak. So he went in, he checked, he measured. Kikimato l'ma'ato the other mission. He goes in, he wants to go to where the other mission is. No, you saw the Dumus Yukri. What is Dumus Yukri? Dumus Yukri is Yaakov. Right? Because he saw Yaakov, if you saw Abraham, so it's like Yaakov. Yaakov Avinu is Dumus, it looks, right? As the Malachim, it says the Malachim saw Yaakov Avinu because he's doime to Kivyachol, the Dumus Alakisim. But Yukri Atzva Al Tistakal. But Adam Arishon is even more than that. Adam Arishon is the it's Maloiki Baraisa. It's Mamish, as the Rambam says. So you can't look at other Marisha. Says the Gemara, 1 second, I need to come and measure it. At the outside and the inside are the same. So the Rambam points out, this goes back to the Gemara in Hebrew. That the Shaila is, what is Mars HaMachpelo? So there's two ways to decide. Machpelo means there's two rooms, one inside each other, or two floors, one on top of each other. The outer room, or the top floor, is where Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov are. The other room is Adam Rishon. So he says, you were by Avram Yaakov, whatever that measurement is, it's exactly the same measurement by Adam Rishon. The one who says there's two houses, one on top of each other, the top and the bottom are the same. So I looked at the two heels of Adam Rishon. Not there I did. He wanted to go in, he told me to go out, but I saw the two heels. They shine so much just to show that the level of Adam Rishon is so much beyond us that even his feet are sun in comparison to us. Everybody compares to Sarah Imenu is like a monkey in front of a human being because she is so beautiful. Sarah in front of Chava is as beautiful as like a monkey in front of Adam. Chava, the wife of Adam Rishon, compares to Adam Rishon and Adam Ifnei Shechina, that's very hard to understand. What does it mean Ifnei Shechina? But the way the Shechina is Gavat Tachtoinin, the glory of the Shechina, Adam doesn't have anything close to it. Now, why do we care so much about the beauty of these women? So this is brought down already. It's based on the Maharal that the beauty shows perfection. The more beautiful they are, it shows more and more perfection that they have. So we talk about a beauty that comes from the inside. And the higher level of ruchnis they are, they have more beauty coming outside. Says the Gemara, Shufid of Keano means Shufid of Ravo. The shine of Rav Keano is similar to Ravo, but not exactly. Shufid of Ravo means Shufid Yaakov Avinu. Shufid Yaakov Avinu means Shufid Adam Rishon. So each one is like similar to something else. That's how you get to that unbelievable beauty and glory that each one had. Says the Gemara, what is an Am Goisho? Says the Rashbam, he's a mechashef. Right? He's deals with witchcraft. And he goes into the kavarim, into the cavers of the different Mesim. The Rashbam says he wanted to steal the clothing. Others bring they wanted to do Dorish Mesim. They had different reasons to do it. When he reaches the Mehar of the cave, Shatui Matno caught this Amgoisha with his beard. Also Abaye, so the Mishmah says that Abaye was a friend of this guy. He said, do me a favor, Rav Tuvi, please let this guy leave. He came again a year later. He also hold on this beard. So he didn't let him go until he cut off his beard. He's holding on to the beard of this dick. So, what is the Nikud over here? You see over here that even when the tzaddikim are buried and dead, they still have livelihood in them to the extent that he holds onto the beard of the guy who's trying to steal it from him. Give a barrel of earth to one son. Give a barrel of bones to another one. Ujo is meaning pieces of clothing. I didn't know what he meant. Though also coming to Rabbanon, what the Rabbanon give to talk about Rabbanon, it's all the sugyas over here. Do you have land? Do you have animals? Do you have clothing? In other words, the Rashbam learns Pshat is he didn't want to go and speak about he wanted to tell people, people should know how rich he is. So therefore, he said remes. Barrel of earth means land. Barrel of bones means animals. Barrel of muchin means clothing. How God with the Shalom so the Ka'amul Lebarto. So this man hears his wife telling the daughter, why are you not more tsanua? When you're mizani, do it quietly. So he speaks about herself. Asora boni isla. I have 10 children. Only one of them is your father's son. The other 9, they come from other fathers. Kishachiv, when he died, this person, he gave a tzavah. I'm giving all my nechasai to one son. They didn't know who it is. Also, come in there, went for Rabbanon. Go hit the burial place of your father. At the Kayim Megaluch until he gets up and tells you. Who gave it to? Also, all of them went. Who, the Breav, the one who was the real son, Loyosel. He didn't want to hit the grave. Although Kulu Nichsedai. So all the Chosy belongs to him. Why? So Rashbam says there's a little steer in the Rashbam. Before she pointed out. And one end the Rashbam says that's a Shuddha de Daina. And you want to figure out who does the father want to give it to? Who does the father think is the right person? So the guy who's acting nicely, that's the right person. The other shot, then the Rashbam says another thing. The fact that when it hit the grave of the father, that shows the mamzerim. Because a mamzer has azus ponim, he has a chutzpah. So the other guy, no mamzer, the other one, the first one was not a mamzer. So the shadow, what is it? Is it because that's what he wants, or because they're mamzer? Or maybe it's a combination of both. So therefore, you were dealing with this Rashbam, but it was a test. If no one wanted to test and see who's going to be the one who's going to act in a way that Mishtam, the father, meant him, he's the right son. So the other ones were not very happy with that. They went to Ochlu Kurtzu means to do malshinos. They went to the king and told him about it, something bad. There's this Jewish judge. He takes money from people with no testimony and there's nothing. He just made it up. So they put him in jail. So comes the wife and tells the people of the king, I had a slave. They cut off his head, and then they spread out his skin. They ate his meat, and they're using him for water.
For what?
For water. They're using the leather, the hide, for water. They're feeding everybody. They're not paying me for the rent. What are you talking about? A slave that's being, what's going to talk about? So let's ask the smart Jewish judge. Maybe he's going to know what she means. They ask him, talk about Zarnuka. What does it mean, Zarnuka? So the Rashbam explains that Zarnuka means, we talk about a noit shalor, which means a small leather sack, which is made out of a goat. So this, whatever she was talking about, she said, how does she really meant a goat? What does she mean a goat? She means there was a goat, someone stole the goat, shechted, took the leather, and put the leather and used the leather for the water. Now I'm not talking about a slave, talking about a goat. So then the Gemara says, that's what he said. He's so smart, he should do din. So that's what the Rashbam wants. So if I'm saying that's the Ben Yodo that you mentioned before. Ben Yodo asked the question, he says, so what's the big chachma over here? Instead of saying goat, she said slave. Everything else the same. She says, no, we're talking about something much smarter, there's a chachma over here, what to say. She's talking about her husband. That's what to say. You have to go. And he's saying that her husband, they were taking him, they put him into jail, and they're using him in jail for advice, and they're not giving me any reward. That's what he's talking about. It's a reference to the husband, a reference to himself. So that was a little chakwa of the Isha, and him for him to figure out what she's saying. So they made him a dayah. So he saw that on the gates of the door, it says, Kol dayin de miskari ledin lo yishmedayin. Any dayan that goes to go to Beis Din, he's not a dayan. Omer lo, 1 second. Me'ato, also yinish be'alm, comes a regular guy. Then muchesa un beis. Mazmin ledina pasli. So you can have a dayan, and someone comes to him and says, I want you to come to Beis Din. That is a dayan? That's it, it's over? El kol dayan de miskari ledin of kim enim amoyne bedin lo yishmedayin. No, not if he's going to din. But if the lawsuit works, that means he really owes money. He did something wrong. He can't be a dayan. So, kosuach. So that's what they wrote. They wrote on the doors of the Beis Din. It says there, any dayan, and it goes to din. It's not a dayan. Sabdi Yudoi, the old man of Yudoi, they added the words, his words. He saw that it's written on the door on the Beis Din, every death comes from blood. All the life comes from wine. So 1 second. Someone who fell from a roof and died. Fell from a tree and died. There's not blood. Understand, the blood causes the death. There's not blood over there. Someone's about to die. Giving to drink wine and he's gonna live? That's not true. That's what you have to write. Most sicknesses come from blood. Most healing comes from wine. That's what he wrote. He said, the beginning of all sickness is blood. The beginning of all healing is wine. Where there's no wine, that's when you need medicine. That's what he says. Now, here, the Marsha and the Marsha asks a question. He says, so what do you have? Help me. Someone jumps from the roof. Nothing to do with blood. So he's saying all sicknesses are blood. So why that helps for other things? So he says, the pshat is that it's a remez over here. We're not talking about blood, sickness, gufri sickness. We're talking about nafshi sicknesses. Talking about someone who has he becomes sick because he has midas rosh. So he says, the Marshazok, the most midas rosh come from blood. That's anger and kas and kino. That's coming from midas rosh. And what's most good things? Coming from wine. What's the wine? So he says the second pshat means Torah. And if you don't have the ability to be faithful in Torah, you do simoni. You do simoni, that helps you to do it. So in a place you have no wine, you have simoni instead. Simoni means simoni mamish, not medicine. Simoni of the Torah. The Vilna Gaon in Mishlei, he says another pshat. He's similar to the Marshal. So the beginning of all Averis is Taivus. Taiva comes from the nefesh, from the blood. What heals it? Torah. Torah saves you from all midas rosh. It says the Torah Meseches Ovis is only for someone who's not learning Torah. If you learn Torah, the Torah takes care of the midas rosh. So that's what it says. If there's no wine, you need to have simoni, meaning you have to work on your midas. Says look the Gordon. And there's what to talk about more about that in the Shom HaShom. Let's look at the Gemara. Ksiva pitcho de kapot kayo. It says in the entrance. It says in the entrance of the place of kapot kayo. What does it say there? Anpok, anbag, antal. So the Rashbam learns these are 3 measurements, and they're all the same. So I'm telling you, these 3 measurements have different names. Anpok, anbag, antal. And what is this antal that everybody has the same name? Is Revish Torah. Why is it called Revish Torah? Says the Rashbam because you learn it from Revis of Arba Krisis that you learn from Mitzrayim. You learn from the Torah, that's from the Revis. Torah learns a little differently. Torah learns the Anbog and Anpak is different types of medicines, of things you put together. What's their size? Their size is Antol. And Antol is Revish Torah. So different trying to understand this sentence. So the Mishnah. Hamarzev ein lo chazoko, v'yesh lo l'koyim chazoko. So the marzev is when you have a gutter, like you have the gutter has the big piece that goes on the roof, and then you have what flows down. I don't know if it has 2 words in English. So you have the top, and it goes from one side a corner to another corner. Then you have the what?
Leaders.
The leaders goes down. So the leader goes down. So the marzev ain't lo chazaka. Why? So here there's many pshatim in the Rishonim how to understand this. But one way to understand it is the marzev is something which not necessarily stays. You move from place to place. As the Rashbam says, Tzinar katan, you turn it around. So Rashbam learns you can turn to this side, you can turn to that side. But you need to know that you can put it there. It needs to be in that specific place. You can't tell me to go put it in a different place because always that the leader will have its location. The question is, where is it tilting to? Hamaschelo, which is the gutter, yesh lo chazaka. Someone puts up a maschelo, that is chazaka. Sulam mitzri ein lo chazaka. Sulam mitzri is a small ladder. People are not back when having small ladders. Uletzur, which is the large ladder, yesh lo chazaka. Chaloina mitzris, which is a small window, ein lo chazaka. For the tzur, which is a big window, yesh lo chazaka. Ein the chaloina mitzris, kol shein yosh shladam yechol lekres atoichol. One that his head cannot go through. If it has a malbin, the malbin means that it has like a square that closes up the window. And here we go into the big machlokes Rishonim. This chazaka, which chazaka is it? The Pasha is chazaka tashvishin. What's chazaka tashvishin? Meaning a chazaka that you're using it. Does chazaka tashvishin need to have 3 years or not? There's two big machlokes Rishonim. Does it have to have 3 years, or even not 3 years? And do you have to have a taina or not? So it goes back to the Gemara earlier, of Gimel. Does it have to have a taina and say, I claim this is mine? You don't have to claim it's yours. Just by holding on to it, it's good enough. Big machlokes Rishonim to both ends. It says in one, what does it mean? So what does that mean according to Rashbam? It means that he says that if you have the gutter and you have a leader on the south side, you can the owner can tell him, sorry, the south side bothers me today. Please move the leader to the north side. You can tell him. You can't tell him not to have a leader at all. You can't tell him not to have a marzav at all. But you can say, don't put this up, put him in the north. I could do. So the Mokkah Chazaka means one of two ruchas you can have it. Let me just to mention over here that there's many other sheets that we're sharing to say this. The Toysus brings over here, it means that the Marza stays in its place. As we mentioned before, do you tilt it to the north or do you tilt it to the south? Or Rabbi Chanal brings it that the Marza has a certain location in the gutter. The gutter, I put it in, let's say, towards the south side. But where exactly the south side is? In the corner, it's a little bit more to the side. That you have flexibility. So B'karmish Chazaka means you have Chazaka, but the exactly how is it that you don't have Chazaka? The word brings another shot. You can make it shorter. You can't move it. You can just make it shorter. You can build underneath it. You can't take it out, but you could build underneath it. So you can't say, listen, I want to have space for the leader to have where I go down. Sorry, this is not that you don't have. You can't take it away, but you can build beneath it. It says more, look at the Menachem Testament on top. Tanan, we learn in the Mishnah, we said the maschela, the gutter itself doesn't chazaka. If you do the first two shots, I understand. Because we said you can either move it from place to place, from different one side to another side, or you can make it from long to short. Say the gutter, you can't do that. Why can't I build beneath it? Why can't I build beneath the gutter? You want to tell me maschela doesn't have chazaka, you can't build, you could build beneath it. You can't just remove it, according to the third shot. But the gutter, you can't build beneath it. Why can't I build beneath the gutter? It says Gemara, maschela should be in his case. Maschela is built from bricks. He says if you're going to start building beneath it, it's going to make my wall that holds the gutter break. The gutter is made out of brick, and if you start touching the ground, what's going to happen? It's going to make it fall down. I don't want you to do that. So that's his taina. That's what it means. That's the idea of why you can't build beneath it. And here the shaila is, so what happens why does the Mishnah say, what depends if maschel shalbinyan or not shalbinyan? That's what Rishonim say, stam maschel is shalbinyan. It's made out, you build it up. So if that's the case, so we have a raya, we have explanation to the difference of maschel, you can't do it, and you have three pshat in what you can do, what you're allowed to do with the marziv. Is it you change it from one side to another, or within the same side, or the pshat is that you can make it from long to short, or you can build beneath it, and all that doesn't apply to a maschela. So we'll stop over here. They should continue from here tomorrow.